so for those of us who are constantly on our mobile phones, on our laptop, let's test how much radiation we're actually exposed to. All right, so I'm going to use my radiation detector. So the phones are emitting tremendous amounts of radiation. All right, and let's look at our laptops. Equally bad as well. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to plug in the emGuarde by emGuarde. Okay, just like that. So it's turned on now, and we're going to go back to the phone. It is completely zero, and the laptop is zero as well when the emGuarde is turned on. So currently now my entire space here is without any harmful radiation with emGuarde. So change your environment, change your life.
All right, fantastic. Now, who liked that? Who liked that short little video? Who here can already guess what we're going to talk about today? Right, so if you can kind of guess it, you know, today I'm going to talk to you about something very, very serious that's happening all around our houses, our workplaces, and unfortunately, we are aware of it, but for some reason, we don't know how to deal with it. Correct? And that is called radiation. Now, I'm not talking about some radiation that comes from nuclear power plants and everything. No, I'm talking about EMF. Exactly. James Jamsari, he said it correctly. It's basically EMF, electromagnetic radiation from your devices, your phones, your laptops, your television. So without further ado, let me just bring up the slides so I can share this wonderful product with you. All right. Now, if you can see this presentation, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Thank you so much. So let me introduce to you emGuarde. Now, for those who are new to this, let me introduce you the company called emGuarde. Now, emGuarde is the founders or creators of a wonderful machine called Kangen Water. It's a Japanese company based in Okinawa, and the factory is in Osaka. Right, so this company has existed for 49 years old, and this company is very, very, very widely internationally known. Right, most of all the people here already know emGuarde and Kangen Water. Now, emGuarde in Malaysia decided to introduce or kind of absorb a new product into their product line, and this product is called the emGuarde. Now, if you notice right there, M stands for electromagnetic. So basically, the name says it all. All right, so let's dive into it and figure out what this product is about. Now, guys, I don't know how old everyone is in this room. I think I'm quite young, right? But I think I'm also quite old. Now, I'm 29 years old. When I grew up in a community like this, where we played with bottle caps, erasers, we played with those colorful chopsticks. This was my childhood. But it's very saddening to see that nowadays, this is the current childhood of a lot of young children, all the way to adolescents. They are glued to their devices, and it's so worrying, right? Now, let's talk about pollution. Water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution. Guys, we can see it, we can smell it, we can hear it, our senses can feel it. Unfortunately, no one is talking about electromagnetic radiation pollution. All of us, we are aware that it exists, but we don't talk about this topic a lot. The reason for it is because we rely on these devices to function every single day. We need our phone, correct? Who here don't need their phone to survive, to do business, to stay connected? If you don't need it, very good. Put your phone aside, hide it somewhere, you know, live 30, 40 years ago. No such thing, right? So we are glued to our phone, we are glued to our technology. So this is the reality of most of our houses, our offices. You know, can I ask by a show of hands, Anybody here, if you could see these waves, the EMF waves, would you step into your house? I wouldn't. I'll probably just run for the hills, right? but the thing is, guys, that's the reality of our houses, our environment. So this is what our houses really look, and these are the sources of the EM radiations. Your phone, your Wi-Fi, your television, your computers, high power cables, high tension power cables, right? All of us know we never buy houses nearby these electric high tension cables, because we know for a fact you do get sick if you live near these things. So all of these sources, we need these devices. Unfortunately, it comes at a consequence, right? Now let's talk about what type of radiation I'm trying to cover today. Now we see here non-ionizing and we see ionizing. I'm not talking about ionizing, guys. If you can see here, UV, X-ray, right? All these are very, very, very bad. We know. It's like if I told you to go to Chernobyl, where the nuclear power plant exploded, you know for a fact if you spend too much time there, something could happen to your body biologically. So we are aware that radiation is extremely bad for us. But what I'm trying to talk about is the non-ionizing radiation. If you can see, 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. The power lines, the radio, cell phones, microwave, the remote controls, the light bulbs that we use, all of this emits radiation in the non-ionizing spectrum. Now, if you read that little disclaimer at the bottom of the screen, the human body absorbs RF energy. RF stands for radiation frequency energy at some frequencies more effectively than others. And it states that at the range of 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. And those fall within the non-ionizing range, right? Let me show you what the FCC states. The FCC stands for, I could get this wrong, Federation of something communications, right? So they basically take care of everything in terms of your satellites, your 4G, your 3G, your 5G, and all that kind of stuff. Now they have released some sort of data saying that the body does absorb frequencies between 30 and 300 megahertz. And the reason for that is because your bodies also have certain frequency ranges. Your brain, your heart, your liver, your pancreas, all of these are between that frequencies. These are all science, right, guys? So take for an example, this short video, let me play it for you. This is what frequency resonance means, right? So what did that short clip show? The short clip showed that the first tuning fork that he used was a different frequency than the one that was attached to those ping pong balls. The second tuning fork was the same frequency. So what does it mean? It means that because our bodies have a certain frequency, when we are exposed to certain frequency waves, it resonates us. It kind of like, I mean, I'm not too sciencey, right? But you can kind of guess. Imagine the waves are hitting and it's radiating at the same frequency as our organs, right? So how EM radiation affects our health? Now, this is a documentation by World Health Organization, and it says IRRC classifies radio frequencies, electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Correct? Now, before I go there, before I continue, who here has an iPhone? If you have an iPhone, type me in the chat. All right, we have a few iPhones. I myself use an iPhone, right? Can everybody just follow me along with your iPhone? Only iPhone. I'm not too familiar with Samsung or other phones, right? So if you have an iPhone, I want you to go to settings. Settings. I want you to go to general. Scroll down to legal and regulatory. And then under legal and regulatory, you have something called RF exposure. You guys see it? Now, if you read through this whole thing, it's basically Apple's disclaimer saying that if you use Apple's products and if you get sick or affected by the radiation from the products, Apple is not responsible. How come? How come, right? It's because this RF exposure thing is, I mean, everybody knows about it, even you, right? So let me show you some scientific data as well. This is Dr. Magda Havas. She's a Canadian researcher and professor. Now, her focus is on the biological effects of electromagnetic radiation on our blood cells. She did a live EMR and live blood analysis. If you look at the bottom here, a healthy red blood cell in a clean EMR environment, the red blood cells are quite free, right? They are quite apart from each other. It looks free flowing. But when she says 70 minutes of using computer or 10 minutes using your telephone, something happens to your red blood cell. It's called the Rouleau's formation. It's when your blood cells coagulate, berkumpul, as we call it in Malay. It gathers, it clumps up. And this, she said, has the resulting effects, symptoms of poor circulation, low oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headache, fatigue, lower concentration, numbness, tingling, cold extremities. Now, I don't work in an office 24/7, but I've heard some stories from my friends. When they are working in the office 24/7, they feel extremely tired. Why? It's because they are exposed to the computer non-stop. Their eyes get dry, they get headaches, migraines, all of these problems. If you used to be somebody like this, or if you are currently in a position where you're exposed to a lot of computers non-stop every day, this is a product that can really, really improve your health by changing the environment, right? So now the next one, this is basically, now we talk about frequency. Frequency is what? Frequency is when the wave, how big or how small the waves is. Now, what we should be considering is something called what do you call it? The power emission, the exposure emission from these EMF frequencies. And it is calculated in something called microwatts, right? So if you, I don't currently have the detector here, but if you have a detector at home, and I will kind of show you a video later as how the device looks like. Now, that device measures microwatts. If it's anywhere between 0 to 200, it is slightly dangerous. If it's 200 to 1000, it is dangerous. Above 1000, very dangerous and health hazardous, right? Now, let me just open up a short video to show you the detector in action. Oop. One second, guys. Oop. Yeah, 1 second. There's a slight problem with my file. . How come? Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'll just play it like that. 1 second. Okay. I can't seem to flip the video vertically. So if you have to just tilt your head a little bit. All right. So this is basically me using the detector and capturing the parts of my personal house, the EMF density, and it's measured in microwatt. So if you see the 000 there, that means it's microwatt. Now, if the device shows 1 and above, or it just goes 1, sorry, means that the density, the microwatt, is above 2000, means it's health hazardous, right? Let me play it real quick for you guys. All right, guys, so my emGuarde is off. It's off. Wow. Everything is going crazy. It's off, yeah? Everything is off. This is the... Wow, it's crazy. Computer. Keypad. Imagine you're typing and you're absorbing radiation to your body. TV. Oh, very high. My grandmother's Huawei phone. It's not on, but it's fluctuating. Oh, screen on, everything comes out like, oh, crazy. Let's look at electrical. Wow, everything around here has a lot of radiation. All right, so do you guys see that? Do you guys see that the radiation, the detector was picking up all of the radiation emission from everything electrical in the house, right? Let me play another video for you showing the emGuarde being on. Now, I do apologize. I'm in Thailand. I'm not at home, so I don't have the emGuarde with me. I'm traveling. So I have to rely on this video. Okay. Okay, let me just open the Zoom. Okay, there we go. So now the emGuarde is on, guys, and I'm going to repeat where I scanned previously. Now you see the emGuarde is on with the light. Yep. It's on as well. Let's go back here. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's go to the LED lights. Nothing. 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 My grandmother's phone. Oh, screen on. Screen on. Nothing. Electrical points. Nothing. So who here saw that and was like shocked a bit? If you were shocked a bit and you were impressed by the machine, type wow. Type wow in this chat. Right? So basically, just to say the device was measuring the radiation in microwatts. And you saw that most of all the devices that I scanned were like 1000 above. So it was very dangerous and health hazardous. Right, guys? So that's a very simple video to show you how the emGuarde works. Now, this device has a patent. The patent comes from Malaysia. And the patent states that this device is able to increase the microcirculation in your body, improve the microcirculation, right? So that's what the patent said. Now I'm going to show you a data collected by this doctor in Taiwan. His name is Dr. Liu Renjie. Now he did a test with 10 subjects. How many? 10. 3 males, 7 females. The age was between 18 to 68 years. Hello? I heard someone say hi. So yeah. Now the first test, if you can see here, right? I want you guys to pay attention to this value called PSV. PSV means the peak systolic velocity. And this is basically him measuring the microcirculation in the blood, into the eyeball of these 10 patients. Now, first stage was pre-test, meaning no phone, sitting in a room, maybe got aircon, maybe got light, right? And he measured the blood flow, PSV, at 20.1 plus minus 9.83. The second experiment was 30 minutes of mobile phone usage, just basically picking up your phone and using your mobile. And he concluded that the PSV reduced, meaning that the microcirculation of all the patients went down, the blood flow went down. And then the third experiment was he had a device, emGuarde device, and what it did was it actually improved the PSV in all of the 10 candidates in the room, right? So this is to illustrate that the patent that the machine has is 100% true. Because if you see, the third stage result is even better than the first stage results. Because why? The first stage result, you still had your aircon, you still had your LED light bulbs, and you still had a lot of electronics all around. Right, guys? So this is the emGuarde. Basically, it's a harmonizer for your home. And this emGuarde is rated to harmonize all frequencies within your area up to 1 gigahertz. Now, a lot of people will ask me, how come not above 1 gigahertz? That is because if it goes above 1 gigahertz, it will affect your Wi-Fi, your phone network, and everything else. And you probably live in the caveman world, right? And it can also be considered as a military weapon. So government regulates it, nothing above 1 gigahertz, right? And this machine, guys, there is no maintenance. All you have to do is purchase one, find the right spot in your house, plug it in, and you're pretty much set for the next minimum 5 years, free of EM radiation. Now, what is the coverage of this device? The factory states 8 meters of defense in diameter, or 4 meters of defense in radius from the device. Think of it as like one big sphere. It's like a force field, right? So when you have this device planned strategically in your house, it will cover about 8 meters of diameter. All the devices EM are free. Now, this is how the technology works. We all know that frequencies is like that. It's a wave, right? What this device does, it sends out a signal to actually chop these waves up. In another terminology, imagine you are on a highway and suddenly one portion of the road just goes missing. Poof. You cannot travel anymore, correct? You're stuck. So this is the same ideology as these frequencies. The machine just sends out a cancelling wave, chops the highway in half, cannot travel anymore, right? So if you have one of these devices at home, rest assured, your family is free of EMR. Now, this device, the tagline is change your environment, change your life. This device comes in at a price of 6,620 ringgits. Right, guys? Now, some of you must be going, wow, that is not cheap. That is quite expensive, 6,620 ringgit. But let me ask a question to those who have not yet purchased their emGuarde. Is 6,620 ringgit an investment to ensure your entire home is free from not worth it? Because I think it is. Now, let me share with you my personal experience ever since I've used the emGuarde. I've slept better. My mom said that she has slept better. My grandmother said that she has slept better. My auntie states that she has slept better. My grandmother said that her eyes are no longer dry. She relies on eye mo a lot. But my grandmother says that she has not even used her eye drop at all, ever since the emGuarde was installed. Another one was my grandmother said that she used to drink a lot of water at night because she's always thirsty. She said that ever since the emGuarde was installed, she didn't drink as much water at night anymore because her mouth didn't feel so thirsty. Right, guys? So the emGuarde, think of it as an insurance. You're protecting you and your family from all the harmful effects of electromagnetic radiation. Now, this device 6620, fortunately for those in Malaysia, you do not need to pay this amount up front. Because emGuarde is established in Malaysia, you can actually own this device up by just paying an installment, zero interest of 24 months. You end up paying about 275 ringgits every single month to ensure that you and your family are safe from EMR. Now, if you guys here are really considering investing in one of these devices for your home, speak with the person that invited you for this call. And that person will help you do a radiation test in your house and help you set up the device strategically so that it covers the most common areas in your houses. All right, guys? So that is the presentation for the emGuarde product. I urge those who have yet to invest one, please consider. Really do consider, because you are doing yourself and for your family a huge, huge benefit, because these devices are very dangerous. Take for one example, anybody here busy on their phones when you're making a lot of calls, you put your phone like this, right? What happens after 5-10 minutes of speaking on the phone like this? Your ear starts to get numb, your ear feels hot, and then what you end up doing, you do this, oh, the other side, correct? Then the other ear starts feeling hot and numb, and you go this way again. It's a never-ending cycle. Right, guys? Even if you put your phone like this, I'm sorry, but you are still exposed to the radiation, even in hands-free, right? So many different benefits that you will get. Believe me, guys, is one of the best investment I've ever made, apart from the Kangen water. So the Kangen water and the emGuarde are the two biggest, best investments I've ever made in my life. And look, guys, 6,620 ringgit, 275 a month is not very, very expensive, especially when it comes to your family's health. All right, guys. So that is the emGuarde presentation. Now, the next session that I'm going to talk about is very, very soon. My name is Egbert. Simon is my upline. But thank you for the acknowledgement. Anyway, the next session right now, if you see huge potential for this product for you to market this product in Malaysia and for the following countries that they're going to expand to. What if there was a way for you to first recover the cost of your investment in one emGuarde machine, right? Or even make this into a profitable business where it gives you a steady flow of income. Now, if you are interested, stay on, and no problem, Jams, right? Stay on, and I will introduce you to the Enagic emGuarde business.